Welcome to Chase Talks. My name's Chase, and today I'm going to be doing just a team analysis or a team breakdown, kind of, and what changes I would make to our Triple Dragon team, which was the first team we used on my Let's Learn VGC 2018 series. Now, that team was a little memey. It had 3 dragons on it, but what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of go through it and offer kind of like my thoughts on it and what changes you could do to make the team a little bit more viable and make the team a little bit all around better. So the first Pokemon on the team was our Oranguru, which I nicknamed Kamiguru. Throwing up the set really quick, it was a Mental Herb with Inner Focus, Psychic, Instruct, Trick Room, Protect. It had 252 HP, 148 defense with the bold nature to boost the defense, and 108. Now, the reason I ran mixed defenses was to make it more bulky. I ran Psychic just as an attacking move, Instruct this was actually the fastest Pokemon because I didn't run it with 0 speed. This was the fastest Trick Room Pokemon I had. That was of my 4 Trick Room Pokemon on this team. So it would always go second. So my Pokemon would attack, and then it would instruct it to do the same move a second time. Then it was my Trick Room Setter, my primary and only Trick Room Setter, and then of course Protect just to save it. Mental Herb, Inner Focus would ensure it wouldn't get flinched. Now, for my likes and my dislikes of this Pokemon, I really liked Instruct, especially when it was paired with Mega Ampharos. I could get 2 KOs sometimes with Mega Ampharos, where I would ensure that I'd KO 1 Pokemon, and Instruct did really well when I was in Trick Room. A lot of time when I was outside of Trick Room, Oranguru was dying, so Instruct wasn't as good. Oranguru didn't have as much viability outside Trick Room. But the likes, I really liked Instruct a lot. And I also liked that Trick Room was nearly guaranteed. Now, other than Oranguru being knocked out, I would get Trick Room up every single time with the combination, of Inner Focus and Mental Herb. So Mental Herb would prevent the taunt, and Inner Focus would prevent the flinches. So I would always get Trick Room up unless they just roared me out, because Roar would go before Trick Room. So without a Roar, Trick Room was nearly guaranteed, or was usually guaranteed. What I disliked about Oranguru was it couldn't really take a hit. I even ran a pretty bulky Oranguru, and it just wasn't surviving. Like, it was usually dying. It didn't like clutch heal or anything like that. Maybe instead of like Mental Herb, running a berry on it would have been better, so that it could take, because it could usually live 1 hit, but it's if they just double targeted it and my fake out user wasn't there to have it, or if it just got Z moved, it would just die, and there was nothing I could really do to prevent that. And then I also had the Dark type problem. I ran into a couple times in my series where it was a Oranguru versus a Dark type, and I just had nothing to the Dark type. And there was nothing really I could have fixed on Oranguru, because I really wanted to Instruct, and I felt like Instruct was really helping me under Trick Room. So there's nothing I really felt like I could have done on Oranguru besides just not run Protect on it, and it was dying so much that I didn't want to not run Protect. So a couple potential fixes on this team. Now, I don't really think changing Oranguru's moveset would have made it better. I kind of think I brought the best moveset. As far as if I was dead set on running an Oranguru, maybe switching around its defensive stats, make it like fully specially defenses, or specially defensive, or make it fully physically defensive. Maybe that would have helped it out a little bit better. But I honestly think that switching out Oranguru for either Cresselia and having like Cresselia run Psychic, Ice Beam, Moonlight, and Trick Room is really good, especially defensive. Cresselia is so bulky and so hard to break. So Cresselia is amazing in this format. It's probably the best Trick Room setter. And then also we have no Water type, and Slowking, Slowbro, and Mega Slowbro are all really slow Pokemon. They're hard hitting, they have a high special attack, and they get Oblivious. Like Slowbro and Slowking both get Oblivious. So like with Slowbro, what you could actually do if you wanted to run Mega Slowbro on this team and not have Ampharos be your Mega, is you could have the Oblivious, get your Trick Room up because they can't taunt you, and then Mega Evolve into Mega Slowbro. So Slowbro is just a really good Pokemon. I saw some interesting combinations, like running Slowbro, Gastrodon side by side is really good. So there's some cool things that you can do with them, and there's some cool like other changes that you could make to the team to work around them. And I honestly think, and it would also round out the Fire, Water, Grass core, because it would give you the Fire type Incineroar, the Grass type TabooBulu, and then it would give you a Water type. So I honestly think that those 4 would be one of the best fixes, and to just abandon Oranguru for this team. The next Pokemon on this team was the Incineroar, our LT Gray. It had a Firium Z. It was Blaze ability, Flare Blitz, Darkness Lariat, Fake Out, and Protect. Now this was our Fake Out user. It was very bulky, and it really showed in a lot of matches. It was really good at living hits. I really was happy with Incineroar. It's 244 with its 12 special defense really helped it live a lot of hits, and then the 252 attack just made it a hard offensive hitter. And that actually moves straight into my likes and dislikes because the reason that I added it to the team and I got rid of Hariyama, I'll say that first, was because it added a fire typing, which my team was previously lacking, and I kept Fake Out. And I was just super fairy weak, and I need to get rid of that fairy weakness, because having a fighting type and 3 dragons, I was just fairy bait all day. Like, there was a point, and I don't remember if it was in one of the videos, I think it was, where there's the Sylveon came out, and there was just nothing I could do about Sylveon hyper voicing in my face, and it wrecked me. I'm pretty sure it was in one of the videos. I don't remember which one it was in. So I really like that it hits hard, and I like that it gave me a second Z move option, because before I added Incineroar, I didn't have a option to Z move while I was under Trick Room unless I brought Hydreigon, which was faster than all the other slow Pokemon because it was max speed. So I really didn't like bringing Hydreigon when I was under Trick Room, though sometimes I was kind of forced to. But it did work. And Incineroar ended up being one of my MVPs on this team. After I added Incineroar, it was amazing. I disliked the fact that I still had no good answer to fairy types. Since Incineroar still had the dark typing, it was only neutral to fairy, and I really didn't have a good answer to fairy still, but at least I didn't have another fairy weakness. And other move options that you could have run on this, instead of the Darkness Lariat, I wanted to run Darkness Lariat because it gave me because it's a signature move. That's the main reason why I brought it. It wasn't because it gave me anything. It was because it's a signature move, and I wanted to run the signature move on it. But instead of that, of course, you can run Knockoff. It gets Knockoff now in Usum. Starting with the move tutor starting, then it starts getting Knockoff. It also gets access to Drain Punch for recovery and Earthquake for spread damage. Those 3 could also all be really good moves on it. Getting rid of a Pokemon's item, especially with so many 50% berries, or 25% berries, running around on Pokemon, the ability to just get rid of it is super good. Also, other Fake Out options that you could run on this team would be Ludicolo, Blastoise, or Mega Blastoise, again, if you want to get rid of the Mega Ampharos. They all get access to Fake Out, and they're all strong sweepers under Trick Room. Like Assault Vest Ludicolo, try and kill it, and it still does good damage. And in one of my videos, there was a Hydro Vortex Ludicolo that wrecked my face. So stuff like that, like, you can catch people off guard. Those 3 are also really good Pokemon. They get good, access. They get access to good coverage, and they bring different things to the team. Like, one brings a water type, but they all 3 bring a water type to the team. And Ludicolo also gives you the ability to run Rain Dish. So if you face an opposing rain team, you can get that extra recovery. The next Pokemon and the first Trick Room sweeper that we had on the team was Mega Ampharos, and it was our first of our Triple Dragons. With the Ampharos, of course, its ability outside of Mega that I put was Static, and the reason I put Static was because if it would get hit with a physical attack that made contact before it Mega Evolved, it would have a chance of paralyzing. So that actually never happened in the series, but the ability to get that paralysis could have been really useful, especially in an out of Trick Room option, and even just like the ability to full para something could be really useful. Mega Ampharos is still really slow, so even when something's paralysis, it would still underspeed a lot of things. Then after Mega Evolves, its ability turns into Mold Breaker. The moveset I decided to run on it was Thunderbolt, Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power, Ground, and Protect. And its stats was 252 special attack with 4 in defense and 252 HP, and this thing was bulky. It really surprised me, and this moves straight into actually our likes and dislikes, because the one thing that I really liked about it was it was fairly bulky. Like, it honestly held its own a lot better than I thought it was going to, and honestly, when I was kind of building this team, I was kind of worried with so many Landorus Ts and things like that running around of what Mega Ampharos was actually going to be, like how successful it was actually going to be. And it also gave me like really powerful electric type pressure. Like, it has a 238 special attack stat when it's got 252 and a quiet nature. That is, hits so hard. Like, it gives such powerful electric type pressure, and then when you add in the surprise of having hidden power ground, like there was a ton of Tapu Kokos that I killed throughout the series that would not have expected me to run hidden power ground. They were like, okay, it's a Mega Ampharos, it's a dragon type and an electric type. I am immune to dragon, and I'm also an electric type. So that's that, and we don't got to worry about him. But that and then the mold breaker ability, which I don't think we ever actually saw it work, but it does allow you to hit like lightning rod, vault absorb, things like that. It allows you to do damage anyway, which was pretty cool. Other move options could be discharge, like if you'd pair it with a good ground type, then it could just discharge without having to worry about damaging the Pokemon that it's side to side with. Like you could run Diggersby with it, for example, which I was gonna put Diggersby on the TabooBulu page, and I don't think I did, but we'll get there in a second. Because Diggersby could be a good pair with Mega Ampharos, and that could actually replace the Incineroar too, but you wouldn't get Fake Out. And then Hidden Power Ice. Hidden Power Ice, of course, for Landorus and Mega Charizard, or not Mega Charizard, Mega Salamence, things like that. It's never a bad idea to run Hidden Power Ice in the format that we're in. The drawback to this Pokemon, because there's nothing I disliked. I loved Mega Ampharos. It was so good. I really liked Mega Ampharos. It was I kind of felt like it and Hydreigon and Incineroars were kind of like the stars of the team, and they were the only thing that was pulling me through in the wins. Because I kind of felt like there was a lot of lackluster through the other Pokemon. So I feel like the only drawback was that I was being wrecked by Tapus outside of Trick Room. Like I was just there was like a Tapu on every team, and almost every team I faced, and they were just wrecking me outside of Trick Room. So like I could catch off guards, I could catch like Tapu Kokos off guard and stuff like that, but like I was just like Dazzling Gleams, Moonblast were just wrecking my face in. So other options that you could run, and if you didn't want to run a Mega Ampharos and say you wanted to run a different Mega, you could definitely run Vikavolt if you still want a powerful electric type. Vikavolt's slow and it has a really high special attack stat as well. And it also adds in bug type stab, so it would take away a dragon and you would still get a powerful electric type stab. So Vikavolt's a good choice. Stakataka is an amazing Trick Room sweeper. Stakataka is so good right now in the meta. It's got 13 speed. It offers you a second Trick Room setter, so you wouldn't be stuck with only a Rangaroo, and you could even like instruct it, so it would like Gyro Ball twice, and it does so much damage with the Gyro Ball. And another one is Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile is really good in this format. It's slow. It gives you Fairy and Steel Stab, and it actually gives you a Steel type, which this team is currently lacking. So Mega Mawile is also a very good choice. Also, Sucker Punch is really good for catching your opponent off guard. And you could even run like a Swords Dance set, and like if you set up a Swords Dance with Mega Mawile, there's no switch in. Mega Mawile just wins that game. So the next Pokemon on the team was our Shakabulu, our TabooBulu. It was an Assault Vest, was the final form. I originally had a Berry set, but I decided to switch to the Assault Vest because I didn't really think TabooBulu was doing anything on the team. Grassy Surge is TabooBulu's ability. It gets a Horn Leech, Wood Hammer, Superpower, and Rock Slide. I ran it 252 HP and 252 attack with an not with Adamant Nature, with a Brave Nature, and 4 in Special Defense. Going into what I liked and disliked about TabooBulu, I really liked how bulky it became when I added the Assault Vest. And I loved the Grassy Terrain, recovery and reduction for my team. I think it really helped out Mega Ampharos a lot, because it didn't have to worry about the ground pressure as much, and really nothing. And it also helped out Incineroar, because Incineroar didn't have to worry about the earthquake pressure as much. So I really felt like the Grassy Terrain recovery and reduction kind of helped my team all around be more bulky and make my bulky slow Pokemon in Trick Room even bulkier. What I really disliked was that it lacked as a breaker, and what I mean by that is like a wall breaker, and this goes straight into the next point, which is the lax move diversity. This Pokemon is very strong, it's got a very high attack stat, but it doesn't have a huge move pool, and I felt kind of limited when I was building with it of what it can do, and in some matches I felt like I was lacking coverage, because like Superpower, for example, if I'm going to break through a Snorlax, I'm not going to kill a Snorlax in one hit with Superpower. That's just not going to happen, but then I get to -1 attack, and then I can't even break through the Snorlax, even less. So I had a lot of problems with Snorlax with TabooBulu. And it also has no physical Fairy Stab. That's a complaint I've had with TabooBulu since day one. I really hope that they eventually release like an event TabooBulu gets Play Rough or something. Or if it gets like a special physical move, because it needs physical Fairy Stab. and that's a huge drawback on this Pokemon that it doesn't have that. Other move options you could run on it is Nature's Madness, because even with the Assault Vest, since it counts as a special attack, you can use Nature's Madness. And then you can also run Zen Headbutt if you're worried about fighting types, things like that. Since you don't get physical Fairy Stab, you can at least run a Psychic move instead. Other options could be a Moongus, Alolan Marowak, Tapu Fini, and Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur is really good. It gives you Spore options. It also gives you Leech Seed options. You can run you don't have to run Protect on Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur is just a good Pokemon. On my team after this one, I ran normal Venusaur, and you could see the work that Venusaur put in on that team with the Chlorophyll ability. If instead you ran at Min Speed with the Quiet Nature, and Overgrow, not Chlorophyll, because you don't want to be sped up in the sun, even though you could just like switch to your Mega Evolve and you get Thick Fat. Thick Fat's another huge thing that it gets. Amoonguss also gives you Sporing Shenanigans, which is really good. Tapu Fini gives you the ability to have no one on your team be status, because none of the Pokemon besides Hydreigon get Levitate, so no Pokemon on your team could be status besides Hydreigon. And Alolan Marowak is just such a strong sweeper under Trick Room. And yeah, I didn't add Diggersby. Diggersby is a good combo with Mega Ampharos, so I think it's a good combo, at least for Mega Ampharos. So you could add that to this slide as well as that being an option. If you decide to keep the Mega Ampharos, you could pair it with Diggersby pretty easily. So, jumping into the next Pokemon was Adele, and I'm actually going to do the breakdown for Adele and Hydreigon together, since I brought them as a core that'd be synced together. So the first 4 Pokemon I kind of broke down individually, because there's a lot of mix and matching you can do with Trick Room, and each Pokemon, like, you could plug and play. And that's what I implore you guys to do, is to look at the Trick Room Pokemon and kind of plug and play and figure out exactly what you want to do with them. Going back to the Adele, which is our Naganadel. I ran it with a Focus Sash, Beast Boost, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power Ice, Tailwind, and Protect. 252 Special Attack Modest, 252 Speed. I did, and I said this in one of my videos, this core was influenced by a team that Aaron Cybertron Zang ran. So I'm kind of giving I don't think he ever released an analysis on what he thought of the core, so here's going to be kind of my analysis of this core. The next one is Hydreigon, which was our third dragon, a Darkinium Z, Levitate, Dark Pulse, Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, Protect, 252 Special Attack, 252 Speed, with a Timid Nature. So, with this team, or with this core that I decided to do a tag on at the end, I really tagged it on because I really wanted to use it. And I thought 3 dragons, that'd be kind of cool. And it was really fun to use this team. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm kind of like being super critical right now, and that was kind of the main point of this video, was to do a really critical review on this team and give my actual like in-depth thoughts and everything. I gave a lot of thoughts and my opinions in the videos, but I just kind of wanted something that stands alone. So you could just go back and you could look at all these sets, look at my thoughts, and it really help you while team building. Because I think that the other videos, while they help you show me using the Pokemon, and a lot of times it shows you what not to do with the Pokemon, but it gives you, this is going to be more of a guide to help you during team building. What I really liked about this core was it gave me a strong Sludge nuke. The Sludge Bomb nuke that Naganadel did was so strong. After I added to a Modest Nature, it needs a Modest Nature. I could one-shot every Tapu. I did so much damage with it with Sludge Bomb, like it was crazy. Like there were matches where I would turn 1, click Sludge Bomb, get a Beast Boost. Turn 2, click Sludge Bomb, get a second Beast Boost. Like it just had the ability to snowball so much, and then when you put it under Tailwind, it can snowball even more. And I also had the Hydreigon nuke, the Darkinium Z nuke. Killed so many Mega Metagrosses. It made Mega Metagross a non-factor in almost every game that I faced it, because I could just click Darkinium Z. It was dead. Hydreigon was definitely my MVP in and out of Trick Room. I loved Hydreigon. It was, I would say, out of Mega Ampharos, Hydreigon, and Incineroar, which I think performed the best on this team, Hydreigon performed better than any of the rest. Hydreigon was just such a good Pokemon. It put down so much offensive pressure with the Naganadel, and it was Fairy Bait. The one thing I really liked about it, because Naganadel is a poison type, Hydreigon would bait fairies like you'd see like a Tapu Lele. It's like, I'm gonna Moonblast Hydreigon, Sludge Bomb, dead, Tapu Lele. So like it would bait out the fairies and be like, that guy's 4 times weak to fairy. If I hit Hydreigon with any fairy move, it will die. So I just need to hit it with a fairy move. And I felt like a lot of Naganadele's kills were because people were trying to kill the Hydreigon and didn't want the Hydreigon to wreck their faces in. What I disliked was the Naganadel lacked coverage options in this set. In the set I brought. Overall, Naganadel has a lot of coverage options. It has basically access to, I think, every type besides ground, unless you run Hidden Power Ground on it. So it has a lot of coverage options. There's so much that you can do with Naganadel, but just the specific set for this core, because I ran Hydreigon Naganadel as a core, I felt like Naganadel lacked coverage, because there'd be sometimes it'd be like, okay, I have to kill a steel type, and it's immune to poison, and it resists ice. What am I going to do to kill the steel type? So there was times that Naganadel was just like, what do I do with my life? And I also felt like the core of these two really depended on Trick Room. Naganadel has a really high speed tier, but when it's not timid, it gets outsped by a lot. Like, it gets outsped by the majority of the base 100s if they're running a boosted nature. So like the base 100s in that range, it gets outsped by the majority of them. So you really got to be careful when you're not under Trick Room, because there were times like that Naganadel would just get wrecked, and really like the Tailwind would allow. That's why I ran the Focus Sash on this. That's what I'm trying to say. The reason I ran the Focus Sash on this was to ensure that I would get Trick Room up, because they would have to, or not Trick Room, Tailwind up. So that they would have to double into my Naganadel to make me not get it up. And when you have like a Psychinium Z and you just click Naganadel with the Psychinium Z, who's going to expect a Focus Sash? Like, you're like, that Pokemon's dead, I'm going to target the Hydreigon. So they don't kill you, Hydreigon protected, and now you get the Tailwind up. Next turn, you dunk the TabooBulu and you dunk the other one with the Darkanium Z. You get both your nukes off on that turn. You have a Beast boosted Naganadel under Tailwind, and you have just a Hydreigon with really good coverage. I feel like the other options to running these two would just be to go with a full Trick Room team. Like this core on the end, like these two together pair really well together, and I wouldn't change this pairing. You could add Hydreigon with other things, which you saw in my next team, and I'll talk about that too when I get in the next analysis. But I tried to pair Hydreigon with Mega Altaria, and I think that it paired so much better with Naganadel than it did with Mega Altaria. Like, I think that this two is just a really strong combination, and Hydreigon's just really strong in the format right now in general, I think. So I think that the best option would be to switch out these two and go full Trick Room, add a second Trick Room setter, add in a Stakataka, add in a Cresselia, add in a Mega Slowbro, add in a normal Slowbro, add in a Porygon 2. I didn't talk about Porygon 2 at all, but it's another good Trick Room setter. So get rid of these two, add in another Trick Room setter, and then add in another Trick Room sweeper. And I think that the team could do really well under that. These two did really well, and if you want to run a not Trick Room option, I would 100% recommend these two. But for the team, I feel like it could have been a little bit more successful if I would have just went on Trick Room and just set Trick Room as my win condition, because there were some matches that I feel like I lost because in Team Select, I was like, I'm not going to bring Trick Room because their team is so fast, I need the Tailwind. Like, I would, get my speed control flipped in my head of which do I want, this speed control or do I want this speed control? No, I want this one. No, wait, I want this one. No, wait, I want this one. And I'd be kind of bouncing back and forth. But yeah, so that was my analysis on this Triple Dragon team. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe so you never miss another episode of Chase Talks. Until next time, this is Chase, signing off.